What's up everyone, Mitesh here with Tech, and good active noise cancelling headphones can cost up to $300 to $400, and trying to find that in a decent pair of budget headphones is kind of hard. So when Mixcdr reached out to me to test out their E9 headphones that are just $70 but have active noise cancelling, I had to say yes to see if they could be any good. So after a week with them, I have some thoughts, so let's talk about them. And of course, like with any other headphone review, we've got to start off by talking about sound quality. Now I'm going to break this up into two sections: sound quality with the noise cancelling off and sound quality with the noise cancelling on, because it really does change the sound quality quite a bit. So with the noise cancelling off, it sounds okay. The headphones don't sound the best, but they sound actually pretty decent. The highs and the mids are a little bit quieter than I would want. They're not quite as crisp as I'm used to. The low end however, is actually pretty good. It's actually, you can hear it. It's very clear. It's not thumping, so you're not going to get like that head rattling bass, but it's really there and it sounds really good. With the noise cancelling on, however, everything flips. So the highs and the mids get really crisp and clear, and they get a little bit louder, whereas the low end kind of quiets out, which I'm assuming is because they're trying to cancel out some of that low end from the outside. So it kind of makes sense. I just wish they could combine the two and give you like the perfect sound quality, but it's not quite there. It sounds really good. I don't think anybody's going to complain about it unless you constantly switch between on and off and you'll be like, this sounds really different between them on and off, but they sound really good for the price. All right, so speaking of noise canceling, let's talk about how the noise canceling is on these headphones. Now, they are nowhere near the level of Bose or Sony's high-end $350+ noise cancelling headphones, but they do a decent job of cutting out some of that background noise. So if you're listening to these, we're in a room where the air conditioning is going, the air conditioning noise is going to be completely gone. If you're listening to them with something like the vacuum or microwave going on in the same room, most of that noise gets quieted out, but it's not taking away all of that noise, so it's not quite as good as like a good pair of active noise cancelling headphones. Now, one of the things I will say is that you will notice a little bit of a hiss in these headphones when the active noise cancelling is on. I only noticed this whenever I was in a quiet room already and I turned it on, but for most people, I think when you're already in a loud environment and then you would turn on the noise cancelling, it really won't be an issue. For the most part, I didn't notice it unless I was in the office and turned on the active noise cancelling when it was a pretty quiet place already. All right, so next up, let's talk about battery life. So Mixcdr claims you can get 30 hours of playback with noise cancelling off and 24 hours with noise cancelling on. Now, in my mixed usage, I was able to get like around 25 hours before I had to charge these up using both active noise cancelling on and off. So I believe these numbers. I'm not quite sure that they'll be able to make it all the way through 24 hours with active noise cancelling on, but I think you'll be good for like a 15 or 16 hours at least, which is enough to get you through the longest of flights. Now, speaking of battery life, we do got to talk about how these headphones are charged, and it is via micro USB. So they have a micro USB port, which of course they come with a cable, and it's 2019. I was really hoping we would start getting headphones with just USB-C in them. I mean, I know the higher end headphones have it, but some of these lower end headphones need to start moving up into the USB-C, because I think at this point, most people are starting to move on to USB-C and don't have micro USB around like me. But yeah, it's a small thing. If you get it with micro USB cable, it's really not a problem. Now, along with that micro USB cable, you also get a 3.5mm cable, because you can use these in wired mode. So that's awesome. I think every headphone manufacturer, but if you have Bluetooth, you should still be able to connect to them using a wired cable, because sometimes you just want to plug it into your desktop or something like that and just use it that way. So that is definitely a plus for me. Another thing that they come with is this awesome hardshell case. So this is fantastic. I think more manufacturers need to give you a hardshell case like this, especially when the build quality on them might not be so great. So speaking of build quality, these headphones are an all plastic build, which is pretty much what I expect, especially considering they want to be able to keep the weight down too, because trying to keep a big pair of over-ear headphones on your head for hours at a time can be really difficult if they're a little heavy. So I have no problem with the fact that they're using plastic. I think it's plenty durable, and the fact that they give you a hardshell case means that as long as you use that case when you're traveling, you'll be fine. Now, in terms of comfort, I found these headphones to be relatively comfortable. After around like 4 or 5 hours, I did need to take them off to just let my ears breathe a little bit, but after that, I was able to wear them again with no problems whatsoever. Now, this is going to depend on your size of your ears, but my ears fit perfectly inside those large 40mm drivers. But yeah, I think they're comfort-wise, they're really good. They have generous padding on the ear cups. The top padding may be a little lacking for some people, especially if you're bald or just keep your head shaved, because I think it's not going to be enough to keep it, you know, really comfortable, whereas with all this hair, I'm pretty good. So yeah, overall, I think for the price at just $70, I think these headphones are really good. They don't have the best sound quality or the best active noise canceling, but they do both of those things well enough to where I think that they're worth the price, especially if you're looking at it at this price point. It's kind of hard to find good active noise canceling at this price point, and the fact that it can cut out some of that noise is a huge plus. But with that, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this one. Like this one if you liked it, subscribe if you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!